Hey, what's going on everyone, and welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to make a numbers to word converter in Java. If you like to solve coding challenges, then this video might be for you. The requirements for the application are the following. The user enters an unknown number, so the application should be able to read the number entered by the user. The number should be up to 4 digits long, meaning that the biggest number should be 9,999. We should store the converted number into an array. So after getting the number and convert it into words, so strings, we should store it in an array. And finally, we need to print all the numbers. So let's get started. I'm going to do this in Eclipse, but feel free to do whatever IDE or code editor that you want to use. So if I run the application, it'll ask me to enter a 4-digit number. So I'm going to enter 5,482. Press enter, and it asks me again. This time I'm going to enter 124. Let's do 365. And in order to terminate the program, I'm going to press a 0 or a -1 to enter a 0. And as you can see, I get the numbers printed out in words to the screen, to the terminal. And so that's basically what we're going to do. I want to say that there might be more than one way to do this. So this is by no means, this is not the only way to do it. So I'm going to start by creating a new project. So I'm going to name my project number to word, and I'm going to click finish. Then on the source, I'm going to right click and select new class. And for new class, I'm going to name my class numbers. And I'm going to click finish. So I'm going to start by creating 3 string arrays. So I'm going to say private. These strings array are going to contain the equivalent of a number, but in a word, in a string. So as you can see, I created three different arrays. One is to hold the single digits words. The other one is to hold the teen from 10 all the way to 19, and this one to hold the 20, 30s, 40s all the way to 90. And also I'm going to create variables for value. I'm going to create one called 1, another one 10, 100, and 1,000. And this will hold the individual digit once we start breaking down the number. So next I'm going to initialize the class. So I'm going to say initializing. Okay, so after initializing the numbers class, I'm going to create functions to return each single individual digit from the number. For example, let's create a function called return number of single digit. And I'm going to call it get once. And this one is going to return the value modulus 10. Okay, and why value modulus 10? So here we are initializing value to the number entered by the user. So what we need to do now is to get each individual digit starting from the back of the number, starting from the right all the way to the beginning, and converting each individual digit to word. So a modulus, for example, if you go to calculator on google.com and you type calculator, it'll take you to this calculator here. And if you, for example, enter the number 567 modulus 10, that is going to give you 7. So it's going to take the last digit from the number. So if you do modulus 100, it's going to return 67. Now you're taking 2 digits from the back. So that's what we're doing in this function here. We are getting the ones, which is the last digit. And so when we're going to get the hundreds, then we are going to do modulus 100. If we, instead of doing modulus 100, we do division by 10, instead of returning the last digit, what we're doing is we're chopping the last digit off the number. Now we get 56.7. So those are two important things to know in this video. Next, let's do return number of tens. And let's say private in get tens. This one is going to return value modulus 100. And actually, before I do that, I'm going to use 10 equals modulus 100, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to do 10 equals 10 divided by 10, then return 10. And then I'm going to create another function. This one is going to be return number of hundreds. So next we are going to create the method that are going to return the corresponding word for that specific digit. So I'm going to say return string of single digit. But this one has a minor variation. So if, let's say if 10 equals 1, then we have a teen. So we need to return teen digits words, else then we are going to return 10, which is 20, 30, 40, and so on. And this one should be 10 minus 2. And next, let's do, and this one should be tens and ones to string. Let's create another one, and this one should be for hundreds. So change this one too. And the other function, the other method that we need to create here is the toString method. So this one returns string of whole number. So let's say override. This one needs to be a public method, so we're going to invoke it from a different class. And I'm going to say dit1 equals to get 1000. And d2, digit 2, get 100. And d3 get tens, and d4 equals to get ones. So I'm going to create a string variable here that's going to hold the final output of my code, of my converter's number, and I'm going to create a boolean also. I'm going to call is10 for when I have a teen number. Next, I'm going to say if d1 not equals 0, meaning that we have a number at the d1 spot, which is the 1000. So if string out equals, or actually not equals an empty string, well, actually, if it is empty, meaning that we don't have, if string out equals empty, meaning that we don't have anything in the thousands, then we are going to do So if D3 is equal 1 and the string is empty, meaning that we have a plain teen number, so we are going to do string now equals to tens and ones to string. All right, so let's go ahead, Control S to save it, and let's create another class. This one I'm going to call it tester, and it does need to contain a public static void main method. Here, remember, one of the requirements for the application is that we don't know how many user enter unknowns numbers. It should be unknown number of numbers. So we don't know beforehand how many numbers the user is going to enter. So because we need to store in an array, that array needs to grow dynamically. So let's construct a method that actually let's construct an array. And so here in main and inside the method, I'm going to create a count variable. I'm going to set it to 0. Then I need a scanner, call it input. And then I'm going to create a do while loop. And I'm going to say while true. System.out print line. enter an integer 4 digits long, 4 digits max, and then I'm going to capture that value. A value greater than 0, then we are going to process the numbers. So I'm going to initialize the numbers here, and I'm going to pass value into my class. So we're going to check if we need to grow the array. So I'm going to say growing array as needed. Let me bring this up. So if count greater or equals to s the length, and then we need to grow the array. So I'm going to call grow, and I'm going to pass the array. And that is going to grow the array for me if we need to keep growing the array. So as I'm going to say s count equals to n to string, and this is going to return the numbers already converted into Word, and we're going to store it inside the array. And of course we need to increment count and if the number is less or equals than 0, smaller than equals than 0, then we're going to say else break. And we need to print the array. So I'm going to do system out print line, and here we are going to print the array to screen for int I equals 0 s I not equals null, and I less than s dot length I plus plus, and then good old system out print line s dot I, and that should be it. Let's go ahead and run the tester to see if we successfully completed the challenge. All right, so I just realized in the third digit I missed an else statement here, which I'm going to add here. All right, so after fixing a few typos and debugging the program, let's go ahead and run this. And let's enter 254, 1,547, and 65, and let's say 157. And let's enter 0. And we have 254 is the number here, and 3,547, which is the number here, 65 and 157, which is this one. And that's it for this video. I hope you find this type of coding challenges interesting. And as always, remember to subscribe, and see you in the next video.